It was a scorching Saturday afternoon in a suburban strip mall parking lot just outside Raleigh, North Carolina. The kind of day where the asphalt shimmered with heat and tempers flared faster than a TikTok trend. Marcus Tate, a 42-year-old Navy veteran, pulled his beat-up Ford F-150 into the lot of a busy Food Lion. His prosthetic leg, earned after an IED in Afghanistan took his left calf, made him eligible for the handicapped parking spot closest to the store. He double-checked the blue placard hanging from his rearview mirror, grabbed his reusable grocery bags, and limped toward the entrance. Marcus was used to the stares. A black man with a military buzz cut and a limp in a predominantly white suburb didn't exactly blend in. But he'd served 2 tours, raised 3 kids, and coached Little League. Petty glances didn't faze him. What he wasn't prepared for was the couple in the shiny red Dodge Charger that screeched into the lot just as he locked his truck. "Yo, you can't park there." A voice barked. Marcus turned to see a man in his late 30s, let's call him Chad, leaning out the driver's window. Chad had a goatee, Oakleys perched on his head, and a vape cloud swirling around him. His wife, Karen, because, of course, sat in the passenger seat clutching a Starbucks cup like it was her lifeline. Her blonde highlights gleamed in the sun as she yelled, "That's for real disabled people." Marcus sighed, used to the script. "I've got a placard," he said calmly, pointing to his windshield. "I'm a veteran. Lost my leg in service." Chad snorted, slamming his car door. "Yeah, right? You don't look disabled. You're just gaming the system." Karen chimed in, her voice dripping with venom. "People like you always think you're entitled to special treatment." Marcus clenched his jaw. He'd heard "people like you" his whole life, on Navy bases, in grocery stores, at PTA meetings. But he wasn't here for a fight. "Look, I'm just trying to get some groceries for my family. Let's move on." That should have been the end of it. But Chad, emboldened by Karen's nodding, stepped closer, puffing out his chest. "Nah, man, you're moving your truck. Or I'll make you." The threat hung in the air like the humidity. A few shoppers paused, phones already out, sensing drama. Marcus stood his ground, his voice steady but firm. "I'm not moving. I'm legally parked. You want to call the cops, go ahead." He knew the law was on his side, but he also knew how these things could spiral. Karen, now out of the car, pointed a manicured finger at him. "You people are always causing trouble. Go back to where you came from." The racial undertone wasn't subtle, and the crowd, now a dozen strong, gasped. A teenage girl in a TikTok hoodie started filming, her friend whispering, "This is going viral." Chad took it further. He shoved Marcus hard. Marcus stumbled, his prosthetic leg buckling slightly, but he caught himself on a cart corral. The crowd murmured, some shouting, "Hey, stop." But Chad wasn't done. He grabbed Marcus's grocery bags and threw them onto the pavement, cans of beans and a bag of rice spilling out. That's when Marcus's training kicked in, not the Navy SEAL stuff, but the discipline to stay calm under fire. He raised his hands, palms out. "You're making a mistake, man. Walk away." But Karen egged Chad on. "Teach him a lesson." Chad swung a sloppy punch, grazing Marcus's shoulder. The crowd erupted, phones capturing every angle. Marcus dodged, his limp making it awkward but his reflexes still sharp. He didn't swing back, he knew better. A black man fighting a white guy in a parking lot? That's a one-way ticket to trouble no matter who started it. Then karma arrived and it came fast. A burly man in a Harley-Davidson shirt, let's call him Mike, pushed through the crowd. Mike was a local mechanic, a former Marine, and, as it happened, white. He'd been watching the whole thing from his pickup. "What the hell's wrong with you two?" He roared at Chad and Karen. "This man's a veteran and you're assaulting him over a parking spot?" Chad, caught off guard, stammered, he's faking it. But Mike wasn't having it. He stepped between Chad and Marcus, his tattooed arms crossed. "I saw his placard. I see his limp. And I heard your wife's racist garbage. You want to keep this up or you want to apologize?" The crowd was now a full-on spectacle, phones live streaming to X, TikTok, and YouTube. Comments flooded in, "Get biker guy. Racist couple gonna regret this." Karen, realizing they were being recorded, tried to pivot. "We're not racist. We needed that spot." But the damage was done. A siren wailed in the distance, someone had called the cops. Chad and Karen's faces paled. Marcus, still calm, picked up his scattered groceries with help from a couple of bystanders. "Thank you," he said quietly to Mike, who just nodded. When the police arrived, the crowd didn't hold back. Witnesses recounted every detail, from Karen's slurs to Chad's shove. The teenage girl's video, already racking up thousands of views, was handed over as evidence. Chad was cuffed for assault. Karen for disorderly conduct. As they were led to the squad car, Karen wailed, "This is cancel culture." The crowd booed. Marcus gave a statement to the officers, his voice steady but tired. "I just wanted to get groceries," he said. The cop, a young guy who looked like he respected Marcus's service, shook his head. "You didn't deserve this, sir. We've got plenty of witnesses. They're not wiggling out of this." By evening, the video was everywhere. X-posts called Chad and Karen parking lot Karens, with hashtags like hashtag justice for Marcus and hashtag racist couple busted. Local news picked it up, interviewing Marcus, who spoke with quiet dignity. "I've faced worse than this," he said. "But it's not about me. It's about making sure this doesn't happen to someone else." The fallout was swift. Chad's employer, a local car dealership, fired him after the video hit 2 million views. Karen's real estate business tanked as clients dropped her face plastered across Reddit threads. A GoFundMe for Marcus's kids' college fund raised $50,000 in 48 hours, with donors praising his restraint. Mike, the Marine, became a local hero, though he shrugged it off, saying just did what was right. Marcus didn't gloat. He took his kids to Little League practice, cooked dinner with his wife, and kept living. But he did allow himself one small smile when he saw the X-post, "Racist couple assaults Navy veteran over parking, karma hits hard." It had 10 million views. Sometimes he thought the universe does keep score.